I praise the Lord for His blessings to live in a country where we can have these things, where we can have the Pens and Jergens body shampoo and Color Vive shampoo and rinse and so many other great products.
We don't have to limit it to food, any kind of
All
products.
right. First of all, Mr. Big Bucks Burnett, it's nice talking to you again on July 5th, 1994 at about 9:04 Central Standard Time in Dallas, Texas. I'm in the Quinta Inn in room 146. This country has been blessed. The good Lord bless this country with freedom and so many other things that can't be mentioned. Too numerous to be mentioned, but never as much as the supermarkets of this country. We are blessed with the greatest product in the world, not only now, but going back 70 years ago. I hold in my hand something here, and I don't want nothing from these products. One of the greatest inventions in recent times is the hefty cinch sack. This great product is so great for sanitation. And the greatest of this invention is that it has two yellow handles which come up and can hold all the food. No more ties. This brown bag is stronger than the white hefty bag, and really it is a great, great invention to overcome garbage, not to leave garbage in open cans at night where roaches and rats can peep through, but rather the hefty cinch sack is a great bag for concealing garbage, putting it in the receptacle can without any ties, holding up two beautiful handles. I wish I had luggage like this so I could put my clothes in. So one of the great inventions is the hefty cinch sack. I can't be without it no matter where I go. I haven't, except at rare moments, when I get out of the shower, and I haven't missed a shower since December 20th, 1989, I wash my hair every day and conditioned it with Color Vive most of the time, their conditioner and their shampoo. And also I use their glistening little lotion there. But I always wipe my body with Bounty towels. However, I must say, in the past few weeks, I'm a little discouraged at the new Bounty, even though it says quilted. The other Bounty towels for my body were more softer. The microwave and oven type Bounty towel was wonderful. Even their regular designer towels were wonderful. But I find that I'm shocked at Bounty that this towel is not as soft for my body as the other past Bounties. When I get a chance, I get Job Squad towels. I saw it today, I wish I picked a couple up, but since it was so nice to get me these Bounties yesterday, I have too much to carry back. Right now at this point, I like and prefer Job Squad. However, Viva towels have just come out with a very soft towel, but I get confused with their packaging. I don't know which one is which. They had an old towel which was horrible. So, but right now, while I still get Bounty, if I see Job Squad, I run for that instead. Because the Bounty towels are not as soft as they used to be. And sometimes companies try to improve something and they make a mess of it. Sometimes they don't know their own product. An example of that is Comet Cleanser, the scouring cleanser for the bathtub. I remember Comet when it came out somewhere around the 50s, and I loved Comet because it was great for germs, and it had a lot of grit in their powder. But they were trying to get like Bonami and not scratch too much. They took the grit out of their powder. It's become softer, and I've been discouraged and have rarely used Comet since. I even sent a mailgram under another name, which I can't remember now, to Comet, to Procter & Gamble, saying, please, put back the grit for the bathtub. They haven't listened to that. So, right, the closest I come to using any powder would be Ajax, or, of course, Zud, Z-U-D. But I keep away from Comet because they lost their strength. They haven't, I want a powder that will scratch my bathtubs. If I want a powder like Bonami, without grit for my silverware, that's a different point. So Comet, please put back the scratch, because a bathtub must have a scratch. Also, one of the greatest powdered soaps I couldn't find today is Boraxo. Every home should have a can of Boraxo, B-O-R-A-X-O, because when you come in from work, just to wash your hands with soap doesn't get the germs out. I wet my hands and then pour Boraxo powder in my hands and then put soap on it twice, and the germs go off and the hands are so clean and secure. When I'm finished my washing with Boraxo, of course, if I don't come in from work, I use a soap dispenser anyway. No particular brand, although I do like Clean and Smooth with antibacterial in it. I just tried new Irish Spring today, and it is nice. When I'm finished soaping my hands, I always use Paquin's hand cream for dry skin. This is the greatest hand cream in a supermarket I have ever tried, and I've been using Paquin's hand cream since the late 40s and early 50s from there on. I can't be without my Paquin Plus. Why? Because it softens the hands so wonderful. Why, some girls have touched my hand in the morning and they said what wonderful hands I had, because I'm grateful to Paquin Plus for what they've done for my hands. The only thing I don't like about Paquin Plus, and that's very minor, is sometimes when you use it too much, the print wears off the jar, causing a very discrepant, a very ugly type of residue. However, that's very minor compared to the wonderful effects of Paquin's dry hand cream. Because if I need a lotion, then I will run right away to, there's no particular one, but sometimes I always have the nostalgia and comfort for Jergens lotion. But talking about Jergens, I yearn for the old bottle they had back in 1940, in the days of Walter Winchell, may he rest in peace, and they lost some of their almonds. They used to have a real almond flavor. I yearn for the old Jergens, but I still like the new one as well. Talking of Jergens, however, this is the greatest invention in soaps since the history of soaps. This is Jergens' new body shampoo. It comes in two types. I only have one here. It is the green cap for deodorant. The blue one is just without the deodorant. This is the greatest invention for showers since the soap bar. They advertised this with a sponge. Once more, the Jergens people, as wise as they are, fail in this commercial. They show the sponge instead of forget the sponge. The body should be wetted, it should be poured all over the body, lathered well, and repeated 3 times in the shower without the sponge. This is so great. It doesn't dry the skin, it's a fast lather that really moves, and the moisture it puts to your body is unbelievable. So the greatest shampoo, the greatest body soap shampoo for the shower, great innovation, is Jergens body shampoo. Now, right now, for underarms, I have the greatest confidence with Mitchum scented antiperspirant. An antiperspirant should be used very delicately and very cautiously. After my showers, I dab it on very lightly, because even though if you use this too much, of course I take my showers every day, it can block the pores. The perspiration is trying to get out. And when it blocks the pores, I can't say that cancers can come from this. I don't want to be that bold, but I can say when the sweat can't get out, it could be a danger. That's why there are antiperspirants and just deodorant. Deodorants without the antiperspirant. So this should be noticed. However, using it lightly, dabbing it on very lightly, and washing it off tomorrow's shower, this protects me more against odors than any other stick that I've tried so far. The greatest deodorant, Colgate Palmolive Pete, what have you done? Who do you hire? Colgate Palmolive Pete had the greatest cream deodorant without antiperspirant that I have ever used. In the 40s, in the 50s, they had Vito, It was called Veto, V-E-T-O. It came in a swirly bottom white with a white cap and red letters. Veto said no to Under Armour. And I can wish they would bring the same old Veto back into the market today without the antiperspirant. It really stopped odor better than any cream I've used, which is not an antiperspirant. How I yearn for Veto. I've yearned for it for more than 40 years. One time, I brought it down to an elevator operator whose arms had a horrible odor. And he knows how good Veto is. Was, at least. The only toothpaste I depend on, while I use other toothpastes, is always Crest. And I can say that the new Sensitive Crest is superb. I have a tooth here in the back. I clean all the time, but of course has to be pulled. There's an infection in it. I massage the gums with my Butler gum pick. The Butler gum pick, every house should have a hole. Forget the dental flossing. The gum should be massaged because it stimulates the blood like exercise to the teeth. At least once a day in between the teeth, very gently. I massage the back with this Butler gum pick. And I always feel the stimulation. It subdued the infection. And I always use Listerine, one of the greatest mouthwashes, the brown Listerine to rinse the infection before I brush. And then I use Listermint with fluoride after the brushing to strengthen my teeth again with the Crest. But I find Crest is the greatest invention with fluoride since 1952 when they first came out, and their new sensitivity protection toothpaste is so great that it doesn't even bother my teeth. It's just what the dentist ordered. However, the shocking news is that this toothpaste, Crest, and so many others have the cancer-causing sodium saccharin in these toothpastes. This is so dangerous for our children and even for adults. This is a cancer-causing substance. Now they say, if you don't swallow it, too much of it, you'll never get it. You can't take that chance. It tastes sweet, and the kids can swallow it 1,000,000 times a day. I say to Procter & Gamble, be the first to get that saccharin out of your toothpaste. Start a trend. Put back sugar in it. It ain't as bad as you say it is. Now, Tom's toothpaste does not have saccharin. That's a minor brand. Why can't they take a lesson from Tom's? Because this sodium saccharin in toothpastes swallowed by kids over the years can possibly cause cancer. So if only Procter & Gamble would complete their good quality and be the leader, take that sodium saccharin out of Crest, because it is a great toothpaste. Now, I cleanse my skin with basically all of Oil of Olay's products. I'm also using their new renewal cream. And I'm coupled with that, all of Oil of Olay's products, I wouldn't be without Oil of Olay's Sensitive Skin Beauty Fluid, which I put on at least 2-3 times a day after my 4 to 6 cleansings with Oil of Olay's liquid cream. But with Oil of Olay, I also use Revlon's Milk Plus, and I use Vaseline, not the petroleum jelly, but the baby jelly, to keep my skin soft and cleansed. But when I use Oil of Olay, I use their Oil of Olay cleanser, the sensitive skin, the 2 gels, the night and the day gel. I also use their 12-hour replenishing cream, and I use their UV protector against the sun rays. And then I put my wonderful, wonderful Revlon's age-defying makeup on top with the age-defying makeup, and then I use Cody's white powder or Revlon's regular powder. And I praise the Lord, thank you, Jesus, for restoring my youth. thanks to you, thanks to great Yahweh God of Israel, and Oil of Olay, Revlon, and, age-defying makeup by Revlon, and the Vaseline Baby Petroleum Jelly. This is the one for babies, the nursery jelly. Now, I also use the Revlon's eye cream. It looks brown. It's from the Rest and Renewal line from Revlon. And I find, as you see, that I look so young, as I praise the good Lord, and I feel young. And also, I color my hair every 14 days with loving care in the liquid bottle. But loving care, why can't you make gloves that fit? Well, no, with all the great products Clairol makes, the gloves to put on are horrible. I've called them up so many times, and no one listens. Nobody listens until something wakes them up. Now, their products, the color is great, but their gloves are horrible. They tear. They don't last. It comes on my hands. Sure, I can go out and get surgical gloves, but why can't they make gloves that I can put on? Oh, Revlon, I'm sorry, Revlon. Oh, sorry, Clairol. Oh, Clairol, make some good gloves. Stop being lazy. Stop taking your name for granted. Make some good gloves for your hair color, and we'll be so much more happier. Now, but I do use Loving Care. It is the best hair color. But Color Vibe shampoo and Color Vibe conditioner, most of the time, since I discovered it in 1990 when it came, I've used that more than any other shampoo, and my hair is so soft, thanks to Color Vibe shampoo and conditioner. However, L'Oreal, you make a horrible hair color. I just bought your casting one. It is difficult to use. It is dangerous. It can squirt in your eyes. The color never compares to Clairol. Go back to the drawing board. And Advantage has slightly better gloves than Clairol, but Advantage hair color is always also horrible. It doesn't last. No wonder you're not selling Advantage, because it's a disadvantage to the buyers. So get back on the ball, go back to the drawing board, and stick to your shampoos until you come up with a good color, because your shampoos are great. Now, the next thing after that is talking about water. Yes, I do use Evian water. I'm in the millions of the mass. I don't care what Consumer Report says, or any other book, until proven differently, there is a difference in spring waters. And Evian has discovered that difference. I am so happy, because Evian spring water, I believe I first learned from Anthony Quinn, when he was on the Mike Douglas show back in early February or March of 1972, when Mr. Douglas came from Philadelphia. He mentioned slightly about a water called Evian. And since that time, it has blossomed into fruitation. I am so happy. If only everyone had 2 or 3 bottles of Evian water in their homes. Its taste is superb. It's wonderful. And I also use with the Evian water, Perrier water. Yes, I know there was a mistake. There was some chemical ones they made a mistake. The mistakes will always happen. But Perrier has corrected that mistake. They've come out with a new production, and I wouldn't be without my beautiful Perrier sparkling water. It perks me up. It's great for the digestive system. So friends, when it comes to water, really knows their stuff. So when it comes to spring water, I use Evian. When it comes to Perrier water, for sparkling water, I use Perrier. And you can see why I'm so happy using these products. Now, are you giving me the signal, Mr.?
Well, Mr. Tim, you've made me thirsty. Could I have a sip of your Evian water?
It's a pleasure.
In the lovely La Quinta cup, we might add.
Right, they do have nice cups here. And I might say that I'm thrilled with this hotel. This is a very lovely hotel you put me in. But
and this water is delicious, by the way.
Oh yes, it is. Definitely, I tell you, it's not water, it's Evian natural spring water. They know what they're doing. The closest I've come to this water but it's in recycled bottles, is in Rhode Island. I had a water called, not to be confused with Evian, it was called Avion, Avion, from Canada. That was pretty good, but I always stick to Evian, and they always date their bottles with the year on it, as well as Campbell Products dates their products with the year, day, and month. If a product has a Roman numeral where you can't understand it, I get scared of that. Now, as I look at my Libby's Natural Light Peaches over here, of course, I can't see, I can only see a numeral date on it. I'm looking at Del Monte here with the asparagus. I only see numerals on it. I'm looking at Green Giant asparagus, and right now I only see a numeral on it too. But I think Green Giant has just come out with dating their cans. Certainly Colgate does that. In fact, I think Green Giant has come out with a different dated can, but here in Texas it's not here yet. They are with the old Roman numerals. However, let me see. However, they're starting to date cans with the years, but Campbell is the forerunner because they always date their cans with the year and month. Which is so important. So when you go in to buy something at a store, it's better if the date, month, and year is on it. Some potato chips only say the month and the day without the year. You don't know how long it lays there. But I'm always going to be careful of dented cans. No matter what the sale is, you never know when air or infections go into that. And not only that, but another thing, I just lost the thought. If you see a dented can or an outdated can, don't be afraid to tell the store because it can infect other people once a salad dressing is out of date. Salad dressings also usually have a date on it with the month and year. Kraft, I think, also dates their products now with the year and month. So it's always good to keep in touch with that, because that at least indicates how fresh it is. Now here, in this rolled gold pretzel video, it's nice to get. Now here it says a mark of, it says, guaranteed fresh until the printed date. Now there's a mark on it, and I'm looking for the printed date on rolled gold. I wonder if the mark covers this. So we're taking it off now to see. Now, it says September 12th on it, but it doesn't give the year. Now, this could have been last year's pretzel with a sticker on it to avoid the date on it. So rolled gold, even though they have good products, does not say what year that product was made, and a big Frito-Lay would really help the mass if they would give the year as well as the date of their products, taking the same call that Campbell's always does. That's why Campbell's is such a great product. Campbell's cares more. They date their products. They're not afraid. And other companies should now take examples from them, like Kraft is now, and the rest. So, all I can say is, you can see why I'm contented using these products. I'm going to tell you one last thing before we close this. We're Lever Brothers. Did not listen to what I told them. I didn't use my name, of course, but back in the 70s, I called Lever Brothers up, and I said, your Lifebuoy soap is not selling anymore. In the 30s and 40s, Lifebuoy was the #1 selling soap for deodorants until Dial came out in 47. And I said to them, wouldn't it be wonderful to bring back Lifebuoy in the same red box with the same scent for a nostalgic purpose? They never followed the instructions, and as we all now know, Lifebuoy is very extinct on the shelves. They had great products, and they should remember their formulas and not deviate. A suggestion for 7-Up. 7-Up has been outsold by Sprite. Sprite has a better bubble, but still 7-Up has its good values. What is hurting 7-Up? Very simple thing. They're not using the slogan, you like it, it likes you. And that is important. My suggestions go back to that. You like it, it likes you. But I also want to be grateful to the Nabisco people. Under another name, I wrote them, say, to get the lard out of premium crackers, out of ginger snaps. And now they have. So they had listened. Because lard is fat and dangerous to the heart. So all I can say is that this is just a synopsis of great products while we live in this country. Praise the good Lord, thank God for Christ, to have all new products the manufacturers are trying to help all the time. My final thing is Health Valley products, which you get in the health stores. They make excellent products. They date their product. Here's an organic tomato soup by Health Valley. It's dated December '95. If Health Valley is not afraid, neither should Progresso be afraid to say the year and the month it's here. Also, Health Valley has something on top. Lead-free can. These other cans probably have lead in it in the commercial market. And this is more expensive. This organic soup is $1.65. Is it worth the lead-free can? It certainly is. Mr. Burnett, thanks for your time. And I certainly hope that we cover this.
I just wanted to ask you a question. When you travel or at home in your hotel at home, do you eat these food products right out of the can
Yes.
without cooking them?
Right.
Now, does that provide a less taste, do you feel?
Not if it has salt in it. I don't know how healthy it is, but I never cook it.
Okay.
The spinach, the Del Monte spinach is wonderful, and the green giant asparagus go right from the can, drink the water with it.
Mm-hmm. Why do you not cook it?
There's no stove here, and if I did have a stove, I don't know if I'd want it hot.
Right. You've just gotten used to the way it is.
Not only that, I don't like a hot spinach.
I see.
You see, and I can't chew it raw. You know what grit is in there. It's not washed well. What hands touch it, but it was already cooked in the can.
Okay. I'm going to switch batteries now, and then I just have one more question, and then
All right.
then we'll close. This one's about to go out, so I'll put in the other one.
All right.
In conclusion, Mr. Tim, now that we've discussed your favorite specific products and their purposes by name, could you clarify for the viewers your daily ritual? I think people hear a lot of things that are exaggerated and are not true. Could you tell me about your showering and your daily rituals that make up the life of Tiny Tim?
That is great. I want to say, sorry if I've exaggerated in the past. I take one major shower a day. The body is cleansed, rinsed 3 times. The soap basically is Jergens body shampoo soap. The one I held up before, where the heck did I put it now? I have no idea, right here. And if I use soap, then naturally I would, either use, right now, Miss Pat Barrett in Rhode Island, in Massachusetts, got me a great goat milk honey soap from Casual Massey. But I'm using that up now. But I take the shower, 3 latherings, rinse well, and I get out of the shower. I always cream my body from head to toe. I use Vaseline Intensive Care, the yellow bottle, only on half of my body. I use the Vaseline Intensive Sensitive Skin in the blue bottle. It says sensitive skin on it, only for my legs. Because the Vaseline Sensitive Skin for the legs is very cooling. It has menthol in it. And since I have varicose veins, it cools the veins right after the shower. So my body and legs are always creamed with lotions. The ones I mentioned. And then when nature calls, I also cleanse the area with soap and water when I'm finished, so that brown stuff gets out. And I am completely clean. So that's what I meant by short little showers over the years when I mentioned that. whenever nature calls, I gently wash with a soap dispenser, whether it's Irish Spring or Clean and Smooth, very gently cleanse it until the brown is gone and it's nice and clean. And I used to have hemorrhoids because I was eating the wrong foods. Now it's been subdued, but I still use, I want to show you this, I still use this product called Paizo, P-A-Z-O. This is an unopened box. It's not as popular as the rest, but I use Paizo even though I don't have no more hemorrhoids, because when I cleanse with soap and water, the rear end after the nature calls, and it's nice and clean, I use Paizo like a hand cream to keep everything nice and subdued. Second to that is Anusol. Preparation H never worked for me. Anusol, only if I can't get Paizo. But this is fantastic, and it's put out, I believe it's by Bristol Myers, who used to make Ipana in the 40s. And I am so happy. I feel completely clean with my showers every day, the one big one, creaming my body from head to toe, and of course when nature calls, washing again with a liquid soap like Clean and Smooth, or right now Irish Spring, in the liquid dispenser, and then putting Paizo in there to keep it nice and soft. And I am so shocked at how many dirty people we have in this world. Thousands and millions who never wash their private parts, who have to go to doctors smelling like a skunk, who in society do not take care of themselves. Yes, the spiritual care is more important than body care, because a guy can be clean and not feed the poor and vice versa. So I'm not trying to say that outward appearances are deceiving, but if you get them both together, if you keep clean in the soul and the body, then of course it's much more sanitized. But we live in a very dirty community, very dirty population. With all the great products the good Lord has blessed us, we don't really clean ourselves. And especially women. Well, I thought very few women keep themselves as clean as they should. I mean, doggone it, it is really horrible. I know when I was married to Miss Jan, I still am, but she separated from me, I would watch very carefully when she went to the ladies' room, in my room, if she didn't wash her hands with soap and water. And even Miss Vicky, the same thing. I really cannot stand a dirty, unhygienic woman. And there are so many of them today. Also, as well as men. Men are worse. Now, the thing is, one of the greatest products I use, as you know, also, instead of underwear, is Depend. I really depend on Depend. And yes, of course, I don't have no bladder problem. I use one a day instead of underwear. It keeps me nice and clean. It's so sanitary. I wish Depend would make elastic underwear like that, throwaways up to the waist, so I don't have to use those cumbersome straps. However, that's a mild thing compared to Depend. However, I'm looking at something called A10s, put out I think by Procter & Gamble, which may be a little softer. But regardless, I always use Depend because it keeps me so sanitary. And I just wish more people would take care of themselves. I feel sorry for doctors who have to examine people with body odors, who don't take care of themselves, who have underarm deodorant, they don't clean their bodies every day. And I feel so sorry for all these doctors and nurses who have to go through this ordeal. So yes, once more repeat, I haven't missed a shower since December 20th, 1989. Correction, one day when there was no water in the Iowa flood, I did miss one, but there was no water there. So technically, I took 2 showers to make up for that in the same year. And so this body is lily white. It is creamed every morning in every shower. There's no wrinkles on the body. And definitely, I praise the Lord for His blessings to live in a country where we can have these things, where we can have Depends and Jergens body shampoo and Color Vibe shampoo and rinse and so many other great products. Vaseline Intensive Care for my body. And why do I like Vaseline Intensive Care? Because it spreads so well. It's got the nice body spread in the yellow Vaseline Intensive Care. And I like, as I said, the blue Intensive Care, the sensitive skin, because it cools the varicose veins with its menthol. So yes, I'm always, praise the Lord for everything, I'm trying to boast on, I'm always spick and span. And I just, my clothes are not. I know people look and say, gee, the clothes look soiled, the 2 buttons off, I've worn my socks maybe for months, but there's no odor because my feet are always clean, and my body is clean. I have more cash, I would get more clothes. But the fact is, my body is always clean, and I'm thrilled with the products that they've put out. And we have a lot of great products, and the ones I use are the ones I tell you about. I also, I'm looking at it, have lights. It's called Natural Light. Libby's Natural Light with no sugar. I like their sugar products. I mean, sugarless products. They're Natural Light, sugarless peach halves, no sugar added. So many things. This is so wonderful now. The country is more aware of better food products. And the God has blessed this country with so many ideas for advertising. So we do live in the greatest country in the world, and what can I tell you?
Could you also tell us, in chronological order, your procedure to properly apply all of your facial products?
Well, here's a great question. Mr. Burnett, you are a genius. In cleansing the skin, I will first use Revlon's, okay, let me get it because I'm getting a little confused with the name. I just found this the other day, as you know, because I'm always experimenting. I will use and bring over here this with me and this. Now, I just found the wonderful effects of Revlon's Milk Plus 6. This is one of the greatest cleansers for about $7 in the supermarkets and drugstores. This is Revlon's Milk Plus 6. It takes the makeup off so great. Before I use that, however, this is the Vaseline Nursery Jelly I talked about. I will apply, right now, I would apply 4 coatings. Once, tissue off, twice, tissue off, 3 times tissue off, 4 times tissue off. First, the makeup comes off with Nursery Jelly from Vaseline. This is not easy to get. People don't know what kind of great product this is. It's not as thick as the normal Vaseline, but it puts a lot of moisture in the skin. 4 times at a sitting. Then I go to my wonderful Revlon Milk Plus 6 for 2 more cleansings. Then after that, I go to Oil of Olay's Facial Cleansing Lotion for 2 more times. So we've got 4, 2, 6, 8 times at a sitting. When that's over, I then use my Dickinson's Witch Hazel. It's almost like water to cleanse off the oil with my wonderful Kleenex tissues. Yes, I do admire Kleenex. They're softer than ever. They pop out one at a time, and when you're in a hurry, there's nothing like Kleenex. They have not taken things for granted. They know what they're doing. Kleenex has this great soft tissue now, which is better than ever. But I always tissue that off with Kleenex. There's a lot of witch hazels, but I always look for the yellow label, Dickinson's Witch Hazel. There's another substitute that sounds like that, but the only genuine astringent cleanser is Dickinson's Witch Hazel. What a blessing. And after I tissue it off the remaining residues of oil, I use Oil of Olay's cleanser. I have it in the back room. Their cleanser on top of the witch hazel. So I would say about 10 to 12 times at one sitting. And then, of course, I apply the Sensitive Skin Beauty Fluid. Then after that, I apply their new Oil of Olay Renewal Cream, then the Renewal Lotion, then the hydrogels, the night hydrogel on top of that, the under hydrogel on top of that, then the Oil of Olay's 12-hour replenishing cream on top of that, and then the UV ultraviolet against the sun rays Oil of Olay cream on top of that. So we're talking about 8 cleansings, 4 more with astringents. Then we're talking about the sensitive skin fluid, wait till it dries, then the renewal cream, the renewal lotion by Oil of Olay, then the the Eau de Velay hydrogel, the night cream, that's 4. The night cream moisture cream is 5. The day cream hydrogel, and then I have the 12-hour replenishing cream is 6. 7 for the UV, and then the makeup. So there's 7 under bases that go on before the makeup. When you call sometimes, and I'm in a hurry, I do the worst thing in the world by putting it on real quick on top of each other, not letting it dry, which is not a benefit, but I don't want to go out without it. It should really be dried and not in the hot weather when I don't use any air conditioners. It also won't last, but those moisture creams are on, and you can see. I praise the good Lord how young I look. I praise Jesus Christ. He restored my youth. The great Yahweh God of Israel belongs to Him first, and then Oil of Olay and Revlon.
How long does this entire procedure take when done properly on average?
Fast. It takes maybe 20 minutes.
I would think it would take longer.
Maybe longer. Maybe. I mean, with the dry, maybe a half hour to an hour.
So a good proper shower is approximately 1 hour in length?
No, the proper shower, okay, rinse, shampoo and condition my hair, of course, all the time in the shower. So I would say, with everything, I'd say the shower takes about 25 to 30 minutes.
And then another half hour for the proper makeup procedure.
Sure, absolutely.
So basically, if you want to go somewhere
To
properly
be ready,
prepared,
take 2 hours.
2 hours. Well, what we just described only takes 1 hour. Half hour to make up and half hour to shower.
If I do it fast.
Right. But you don't want to be rushed, so it might
That's
take
right.
2 hours when you can do it in a relaxed
That's right.
manner.
Well, it's not like being young. But I want to emphasize again to all your listeners that I am not trying to put worldly products ahead of spiritual cleanliness. If the spiritual soul is sinning with sex and cheating people and lying, all these products mean nothing. The inner beauty, of course, the spiritual thing comes first. And then on top of that, if the soul is clean, the face and body will look clean. But still, we can't overlook hygienic cleanliness. I certainly, once more say that I am shocked at how many dirty people we have. The hygiene we have in this country is so poor, and we have so much to cleanse with. And it's not whether you're poor or not. If you were poor, you could still use great products like the nursery jelly, a couple of creams. You could cream your skin, take great showers, and still use all these things. And there's nothing like being young and taking care of yourself and having Social Security.
Also, approximately how many hours do you sleep each night, and how late do you like to stay up, and when do you like to rise in the morning?
Sleep is always mixed. I never know. Usually I can use 13 hours, but it doesn't come that. Maybe if I'm lucky, I get 4 or 5. The lights are always on. They never go off. That's because I had an experience in Florida at the Holiday Inn. At a Holiday Inn in Florida, when I played the Great American Circus, Allen C. Hills, in '85, it looked like a clean Holiday Inn. Very clean. But when I put on the lights at 3 in the morning, there were water bugs in the ceiling. They call them palmetto bugs. I was back in '85, and I've never slept with the lights off since. Whether it's my hotel or wherever I am, the lights are always on. It keeps whatever roaches around, they're more cautious as they crawl. The roaches can't stand the light, and believe me, I don't try to kill them. They can be whoever they want to be, but I just don't want them around, and the lights, let there be light. So I always leave with the lights on.
Also, do you believe bug life is sacred? Would you never kill these creatures?
Absolutely. That's another great question. Praise the Lord with my Bible. The thing is, I really believe this. I believe I don't kill flies. I won't kill mosquitoes. I won't kill roaches, but I won't kill ants. If the ants bite, if the time comes, there are exceptions. What I will do is put honey in the corner. They can all go to eat. If they still bite me there, I'll say, now boys, you bit me. I may have to use the exterminator. Always talk to them. But it's my experience, and maybe I'm wrong, that even the fire ants won't bite if they know you're feeding them. That is not for sure, because they still have, but they're aware you're getting nothing. But flies I will not kill. The old song, never swat a fly, he may love another fly. And I don't kill flies because they are very gentle insects. When they come around people, they're thirsty. They want water. And that's why and they know when you want to kill them. I'm going to tell you how a fly awakened me. They know that I don't kill them. And one time in 1982, in May, I was in love with a girl named Miss Dixie. I was in New York. I came back from a late party. I had to take the 8 o'clock plane to go to Cleveland. And I almost overslept. But at 7 o'clock in the morning, a fly buzzed around me like an alarm clock and woke me up. And they certainly know when you're not trying to kill them. And the same with roaches. They know when you're not trying. I would stamp my feet and they'd scatter because they know I'm coming. I also try not to yell. I was like, get out of here. I try not to yell. Come on, come on. Because sometimes you could shock them with noise. Eventually, when they, I was always clean, but in New York sometimes they're in the cracks. I said, boys, you better watch it now. You've been here a year. They're going to come to spray it. But always let them know that, because it certainly is sacred. I mean, they were created. They want their lives. They don't want to be killed any more than I want to be killed. And so when I see people, kill, the same with mosquitoes. The body is kept clean. I might use off sometimes, or a cutter, sometimes. But usually, as St. Teresa said, or St. Rose of Lima, I don't know who it was, I think it was St. Rose of Lima, she let the mosquitoes roam around her because they were singing to her. And usually, since I have varicose veins, if they bite me, they can take the bad blood out. So basically, I don't kill mosquitoes. Their lives are short. There was a poem given to me by a friend, ex-friend, Max Sofsky, but I can say this. I don't remember what it was, but this fellow was in prison, and he saw this fly there, and he gave him some water, and he said, drink up, little fly. Our lives are both short, and so that's one of this. I don't kill those poor things. Now, of course, if I saw a mouse and a rat in the house, I'd leave him alone, go right out, call the janitor, or leave the room. That does, a rat or a mouse in the house is dangerous. I mean, what they breed, I can't, if I could communicate with them, I say, look, you want your food, I'll put it out there, don't come in the house. See? But that's one thing I can't take. I can't take a mouse in the house.
Back to your sleep. 2 questions. What do you wear, if anything, when you sleep? And also, do you dream?
Good question. If I had my way, I always forget to get pajamas. So right now I don't wear anything except a t-shirt. And I don't have bottom pants. When I have my chance and I have to one day get together with clothes again, I like to wear pajamas. I don't like to sleep naked. It's better when I'm covered, especially in the heat. As much as possible, I try to get away with along with nature's weather. That's why, even though it's a little hot here now, I mean, I pray to get adjusted to it. If I had my way, I would wear a fur coat now. It would keep me, like the Indians, it would keep me much cooler. And, I don't mind sweating. In the cold, yes, I'm not brave. I like a warm blanket, and I would wear socks and everything, but to try to avoid the cold, the heat. I don't like to put the heat on in the cold weather. If you notice how meat is preserved in cold refrigerators, I believe, if you're dressed well, if you dress well, you can roll slowly in your bed, and the cold preserves the body. If you don't get up fast, just make believe you're ice. When you get up, you thaw slowly. No, this is only my opinion. It doesn't mean you're going to live any longer. But I find when I try to get along with the cold, I actually, feel better than a heated room. But there's something else I wanted to say, and it just slipped my mind about the weather and all that. Oh yes, praise the Lord. The body can be kept warm in the cold by taking a look at the squirrel. Now, walnuts, that might be him. Walnuts.
We'll pause for right now. Go ahead and start your sentence over.
Yeah. Walnuts, are definitely body-building heat, and they actually keep me warm, like a squirrel. When it comes to that, I find that it's a great winter food. Second to that is, almonds are all right, but the walnut is a great nut for the winter. That's why, same with chestnuts. But that's why you see the squirrels, with their bodies are built big. It keeps them warm in the cold weather.
Also, do you sleep under the cover or on top of the cover?
On top of the cover.
Okay.
Only in the wintertime I may sneak under. Some of these hotels have dogs in it, and and you never know how dirty human beings are, and they don't clean the sheets too well. One has to be careful of lice and who knows what. That's another reason I would sleep in pajamas. I get a chance sometimes with these pants. But in the cold, of course, I would have either a heavy bathrobe or, a strong blanket.
And do you dream?
Very rarely.
Mm-hmm.
Dreams don't come that often. Very rarely. When they come, they come. But I very rarely dream. I would call it most of the time. I just have thoughts. I put thoughts in my head, but I don't dream.
Has anyone ever told you resemble in some ways Mighty Mouse, the superhero?
No.
Yes. Are you familiar with the Mighty Mouse theme
Sure.
song? Here I come to save the day. Could you do that?
Here I come to save the day.
Yes. Sounds like the Mighty Mouse cartoon.
Really?
Yeah, I think you would be great in a Mighty Mouse cartoon.
Really?
Yeah.
Gee, I never thought of that. But no.
And the style of art in the Mighty Mouse cartoon is very similar to that of Martin Sharp in some ways.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you had an idea about the Flintstones.
Which is now a movie with John Goodman. Mm-hmm.
For me to play in that.
Yes, I wish it could have been you instead.
But you know what would have been good in that? Jay Leno.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Or maybe Tony Bennett.
I guess my last question is, a lot of people ask me this, how much each day or evening do you pray and meditate?
All right, now, the meditations, when done right, take about 2 hours. And then throughout the day, very little, but usually it takes about 2 hours. Usually in the morning, if I can get that, together.
And you say rosaries?
The rosary to the Sweet Blessed Mother, to Jesus Christ, to the Holy Spirit, just prayers, and praise the Sweet Blessed Mother, Saint Joseph, Saint Anne, the Mother of the Blessed Mother, Saint Joachim, the Father of the Blessed Mother, grandfather of Jesus, also to Saint Michael, Saint Gabriel, Saint Raphael, and other saints like the blessed angel, the blessed angel Uriel, blessed angel Remiel, blessed angel Braguel, the blessed angel Hay, who was the angel of youth, the blessed angel, praise the Lord for all these things, Saraquel, Zaphkiel, Azrael, and Phanuel, the divine face, Sandalphon. There's even a prayer for Lucifer, the angel of evil, that he will repent and ask for forgiveness and say that he was wrong and the great Yahweh God of Israel is right. The same with his demons, so that they, and mean it, so that they will be transformed from insanity and schizophrenia. That's the room. Please sit down there.
It's all right. Come in and sit on that.
Yeah, over there. You can sit. So that Satan, thanks. That Satan and his demons will be transformed from insanity and schizophrenia and back to sanity and get back to heaven. So these meditations are also, not trying to boast here, I thank Jesus Christ for his blessings, sinner that I am. Basically that, so pray also for the world in Bosnia, for the situation in Rwanda, whatever it was, in Africa, whatever it is, and the same with North Korea. So far in these prayers, I thank Jesus Christ, his sweet blessed mother. Here's what I've seen in the years. I've seen rain restored to California when there was a drought. I've seen a settling down of a more peaceful Bosnia right now. I also see President Carter was in the grace to stall for peace now, because he came there with humility and not pride. Pride cometh before the fall. And most of the world has pride. Most of the philosophies of that.
Well, a lot of people hearing these habits, I suppose we couldn't blame them if they thought they were unusual, but you just might possibly be the cleanest person on the planet. And what would be wrong with that?
Well, here's the most dangerous thing here. I thank you for these nice words. I do not want to boast. At one time, I was so dirty, in 1950, Thomas Lasky was his name. He said, when do you take showers? And I was woken up to that maybe a year later when, somebody else told me that. It was brown around my neck. And so I've had to be taught the same way. We all learn in life, every second, every day you learn something else. So it didn't come by waking up and going into showers. But now, I just want to, it makes me feel good there, but I pray he will say that spiritually first, to obey his commands and to do what he wants.
Did you develop all these cleaning rituals yourself?
Through prayer, his grace, yes. But I also stress spiritual cleansing, to walk with him is the most important thing. Also, the biggest and saddest thing is not only having two wives who are very pretty and very beautiful when I wanted, not being able to get along with them. I blame myself and I blame them. I'm not going to be falsely modest. I had my faults and they had theirs. Both fooled around on me, both lied to him, and it might have been my fault because of my physical habits. I don't like the air conditioners on. I'm very fussy. I'm listening if they're washing their hands with soap. I tell you, I myself lose the feelings for them, and I have to work at it again. And two, I can't work alone. They've got to help me. The cross of all marriages or relationships is the feelings go, and you have to work at it, otherwise you leave. I mean, this is a tough thing. So I've had my faults, but still they did commit adultery on me for whatever reason, which is the worst that can happen in a marriage. So the saddest part, I'm not going to lie to you, has been without, having that woman I wanted. But then again, as I say, I don't know how in my human form I would have been finicky to certain things and how I would have yielded to the tiredness syndrome, which is the most dangerous in any relationship, where this wall is more warmer once the feelings go. So with all this knowledge, I could fail if I got tired of them after a while and become a victim of hypocrisy, because I cannot take it. It goes just for me. I cannot take it when that tiredness feeling comes in. This is the one thing I asked Jesus Christ when you said, how can you expect man to stay together with woman on one marriage when they lose that loving feeling after 3 years, more or less? I mean, this is tough. I mean, you have no more emotion to the person, and I'm not going to mention names, but that's what makes the eternal one here, because, see, everything here with the woman, immediately, as soon as I see her, there's already a form on how she is. Already a form. When she grows old, she's smiling this way. Is she dark? Is she light? If she's dark, I call her chopped liver. If she's light, I call her beer. See what I mean? Everything is formulated in the head. And also, the negative sides are already seen. That's what makes a certain name divine in the essence, because there is no fault there. That's what makes this divine one so great, because it's the only one I've met where tiredness has a weapon. Any other one, I know I can get tired, it'll happen with anybody. See? But the one you know I'm talking about, and I'll tell you a few things later. The one that I'm talking about in fantasy has all the goods, plus the barrier against tiredness. And I can't say that to anybody else I've met or would met. Even the one we saw at the airport. Right away, a synopsis is already given on her. She's a woman of the world, seeking her thing, and the tiredness could creep in. And just a memory of the moment we met. But that's what makes this eternal one so different. But basically in all marriages, the exception to the rule, this creeps in. And so my biggest hurt is not being able to have that happy marriage, and to question him only as to how does one get along like that.
Well, speaking of women and products, you once told me something fascinating, that different brands of beer remind you of different women. Could you tell me now which brands remind you of which girl?
Right. Well, Mary Beth Pavia, now known as Mary Beth Viola, she was a goddess when I met her. Among many, 1978 in March. Why, she was only 18 or 20. She was probably the greatest woman of the 70s. She was definitely black-haired. Oh, I'll never forget. And when I drank, still today, if I drink Foster Lager, the nice big thick oil can of beer, that reminds me of this Mary Beth. Later on, there are not too many beers for women, but they are. For Miss Dixie, there's more of champagne, and I believe that Tattinger's. I can't say that for sure. For Miss Gorman, her name was Lisa Gorman. 1980, I met her. Whenever I drink Tattinger's champagne, I think of Lisa Gorman. She was so wonderful. She was a poetess. She was also 19, 18. I met her at a club. She came to my room. I didn't dare touch her. I had to fear the good Lord and her mother. Let's see. But she wanted me to, but I never could. And she broke off because of that. Whenever I drink Tattinger's champagne, I think of her. Megan Stevenson, recently, beautiful, wonderful girl. She was in her 30s, but whenever I think Miller's Genuine Draft, I think of her and our escapades in '93, because I got to keep away from this devil in me. That's why I keep away from her. Well, I never drink Miller's Genuine Draft now. Well, when I was with her, I do. And as far as Bush beer is concerned, we all know who's involved there.
You can say the first name.
I would rather not at this point.
Okay.
The world knows it already. There's no need for that, and you'll know why later. But anyway, the situation is, so does any other beer, Brahma beer from Brazil, reminds me of Julia Roth. Julia Roth is now 26. I met her when she was 18, and she still looks nice. She looks like a Julia Roberts. Oh, I just saw her 2 weeks ago. We were in a restaurant, an outdoor restaurant, right after the Conan O'Brien show. And forgive me, she was in a white blouse, and she just stretched like this. Oh, I tell you, that I need prayer. Let's see, she was divine. But anyway, I drink Brahma beer from Brazil, I think it's from there, and I think of her. So yes, there are beers to a lot of women, but not that many, just a few I can remember by. But the years are going. There's no beer from Miss Corey yet after that shocking breakup last year. It still breaks my heart today, the argument we had on July 24th or 25th of that year. Still breaks my heart. How can I but fantasy is fragile. That was Miss Krista said it just a week ago.
Well, in closing, we can say that all of these habits, rituals, procedures, products, specific brand names, all play a very, very important part in the life of Tiny Tim, and they are not to be underestimated.
Mr. Big Bucks Burnett, you are a genius. The fact that you bring these things up, you're so aware, you're so into everything, and you're trying your best to bring an understanding, which I don't care if they understand or not. I am not interested in making and changing anything, in having the public adore me, of changing my image or anything. Because the reason I'm not trying to be proudful is that I'm not worshiping the audience. They can do whatever they want. They can leave me, come. I'm not going to kiss their rear end in the past, present, or future. The only thing I owe the public is a good performance. And I give them autographs, not because I'm a nice guy. It's supposed to be done. I'm always looking for that one gem in the crowd. I mean, let me tell you one thing. You never worship the creature, only the creator. I mean, I am a star because not the audience didn't make me. Jesus Christ gave me the spirit and the yes to become a star. It doesn't belong to the public. The public will drop you as quick as they like you. Now, you mean again, look at Tanya Harding. Okay, she did a wrong thing. No one wants her again. As Dr. Schuller says, the world doesn't forgive, nature doesn't forgive, only Jesus Christ forgives. So basically, I'm not trying to change an image. They don't have to like me. My only goal is to do what he wants me to do and to be true to Jesus Christ. If I fail there, all their adulation means nothing. Elvis Presley had the world, but he's not here no more. Bing Crosby had the world, may he rest in peace, and he knows his sins with Dixie Lee. I mean, I'm not trying to condemn anyone. O.J. Simpson has his own problems. Michael Jackson has his own. Even though Madonna's a star, she's got to go with herself and her spiritual soul when she goes to bed to sleep. So basically, the old saying, what does it matter if you gain the world and lose your own soul, is very prevalent here. I mean, the Creator can stop life, and what does fame mean? Who knows about Bing Crosby right now or Rudy Valley? They had their day. So what's important here only is to do what he wants and to please him. And the rest is history. So, but this is only show how great Jesus Christ is, the great God of Israel has been to me, and also to make people aware that I may count my blessings, and that we have great products in this world, which I can take for granted, and so many others do, when used religiously to take care of themselves, spiritually and physically, from Revlon's Milk Plus 6, the closest to milky skin in a cleanser, and to all these other products that we're so blessed to have once more, the Hefty bag. The greatest invention, not because of the bag alone, because of these two wonderful strings that come up I can hold everything. I tell you, I'm getting close to put my Zeus in here. Really?
You know what I think we should do right now?
Tell me.
Give all these fine products a round of applause.
Oh,
And this really will be my
Yeah.
very last question. I've saved the best for last. I would like your opinion on why the great Yahweh God of Israel let us survive hundreds, thousands of years without these fine products. Why do you think these products are coming into play in our lives in this century?
great question. This is a superb question. But not true. When Cleopatra was around, she knew how to keep clean. Even in the days of Jesus Christ, in the days of Moses, in the days of King David, they still had perfumes and soaps, maybe bathing water, but it was always around. Man was creating things for cleanliness and smelling nice thousands of years before. As George M. Cohan said in 1912 he said this, nothing new under the sun. Now, I want to bring something else here, which is very interesting. No one has touched on this yet. Praise the Lord. Arafat pulled the greatest coup, like the Hitler-Chamberlain situation right now. I mean, no matter what you think, the Israelis gave up their position. They yielded from what's happening. Now he wants more. And now he's really come to the forefront. He wants restitution. This is a political victory, which is now going to cause, now the Israelis are waking up, there's going to be some more bombings. But he put one over superbly. And it's just amazing as you watch the world and the mistakes that are made by those who are geniuses. I'm going for the principle of the thing. I mean, it's just unbelievable to see what's going on here in this world. You know, what can I tell you?
We live in an unbelievable world.
And it's getting more, you know, as I said so many times, see, I believe this. My mother was Jewish, my father was Catholic. I just believe in Jesus Christ. I believe, and I'm saying this without animosity, that before 1946, the Arabs were angry when the Jews walked into Israel and put them on the sand. This is why the war was going on. The peace had to be to get both together and to realize that, you know, at the point. Now, however, the time has come where the war has always continued because of that, and just from the standpoint of strategy, that Arafat pulled off something. First his own were against him, and then they woke up to see what he did. And the Israelis saw Moshe Dayan is twirling in his grave right now, because now it's always going on, and basically they're waking up to a very tricky situation there. The peace has to be, both together have to realize and yield and understand, you know, the geography of their country. But right now, it's unbelievable. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable what's going on here. Anyway, but I do believe also that we're going to make contact with outer space. As I said so many times, the time is coming nearer. The next wars will be the space wars, very closer to this, not now in the next century, or from those who live in the inhabitants of the earth. This world is going up and out of here. We're about to see things we've only read in science fiction about to come true. Why haven't they come here? Very simple. Because they don't want to shock us. But the time is coming when they're going to have to. And this is going to be, I can't describe this feeling. This will be a scary, scary feeling that everything steady that had gravity in our thoughts is now lifting us up just in our mind. Our mind and body are going to be lifted up, and we are on the earth, and yet without a being from elsewhere. I mean, this is coming so close. I don't know if I want to live to see this. It's going to be a horrible nightmare as well as a blessing. But it's surely coming closer, and it's surely coming to the time that no one's smart, no one's a prophet. It's just common sense, from the comics to the robots to the computers now to the Dick Tracy watches, which are now being, to the subconscious revelations of the submarine, to Jules Verne, as I've said so many times, just the gift Spielberg was given to have, these E.T. characters. So the world to come is unbelievable.
Well, I hope the world to come will include a comeback from Mr. Tiny Tim, my favorite musician.
Oh, Mr. But that's a wonderful buzz.
And even if you don't make it big on this planet, maybe the Martians will take you away and you'll be a #1 superstar on a different
No,
planet.
but isn't that the point here? What's important here, superstar I've already had, whatever you want to call it, 68, 69. It's just like playing, Pac-Man and getting 10,000 points. So if it happens again, it'd be great. If not, those who say, "Ha, he never made it again," was saying he never made it the first time. So if it happens again, fine. However, what's more important are these gems that are left, that you have in your machine here and so many others in the press. Disobedience to the good Lord's word, the coming of the outer spaces, the being aware of the wonderful things this country has been blessed with, the sins of fornication and adultery, the sins of birth control and rhythm and all these abortions. Now, if these things are left, well, this is more important than any fame I may have. The greatest celebrities in heaven. Well, I want to meet a Moses, King David, Joachim, the grandfather of Jesus, and St. Anne, mother of the Blessed Mother. I'd love to meet King David. All these angels. These would be the great celebrities. So it's all this I pray in heaven too. But this, and that's, when I said many times, you see many flies, you see many roses, and you know what he can duplicate so many times.
Well, thank you very much for this fabulous interview, which will set the record straight.
Well, Ms. Burnett, I thank you for your time, and perhaps in some ways the Lord has used you to capture these things. And Mr. Bruin is sitting right here, who also has a great paper, the Tiny Tim Times, is it? And am I right? And basically, Mr. Sharp in Australia, they've tried for whatever their ideas were. I praise the good Lord that they've been used as instruments to propagate this word, no matter how they interpret it. But the fact is, your efforts here this week for this Dallas thing again has been fantastic. We never know when we'll meet again. We may meet tomorrow. This could be it. Plane could crash, heart attack, or we could be doing this for another 20 years. The point is that I just hope he's not angry at me at the judgment. You're talking to someone who's not that kind, who's not. I need help all the time to cleanse the errors for myself and to pray to be acceptable as much as I can to Him.
I've been wondering throughout this whole interview, what is that round thing around? Is that a necklace? Is that a walnut? She was such a beautiful Chinese girl. Her name was Cassie Jiang, Jiang. I met her in 1991 at the Continental Hotel in Las Vegas. Strange night. There was a slight love affair, very slight. But then I kept on, I wanted to show her and myself that she was not just there for a night. And I kept writing to her in 92, and believe it or not, she was going with some other guy in 93, 92. However, the good Lord works in strange ways. His wonders to perform. Like in Christ, I never would call her because there might be more sensuality. But here I was in Las Vegas this year. I was at the post office, and she happened to be there. And then, it was wonderful. I took her to the drugstore for a dining meal, and
I sang her a song. May I?
Please.
I sang her this song, this great song in the 30s. Oh, give me something to remember you by when you are far away from me, dear. Some little something, meaning love cannot die, no matter where you chance to be. Oh, I'll pray for you, night and day for you. It will see me through like a charm till you're returning. Oh, give me something to remember you by when you are far away from me. Anyway, she took this off and gave me this.
Wow.
So there's part of Buddha in here.
Mm.
Well, I don't want to be irreligious. I pray to good Lord only remember that I don't worship any of these things or go anywhere with this, but out of just a token of remembrance, I said I'd always remember, I wear it because of her. That's, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that song, something to remember you by, she, she gave me a couple of kisses too. Then I thought, this is what she was interpreting that song. She took it right off her neck and gave it to me. I've been wearing it since.
Fantastic.
But I just want to say, if I may, we got a few more times
Of
there,
course.
that with Mary Beth Pavia, she was a very powerful, and there were so many in the past, but she's one that stands out from the 70s. She was a fantastic, beautiful goddess. I mean, she was alone in my room once in the Holiday Inn and in Jersey in '78, and it was unbelievable. I know she was stretching again. I couldn't come close to her. I thank Jesus Christ to keep me away from myself. Anyway, I can never forget her with this one song. John McCormick sang. Dear little rose with your heart of gold, dear little rose, may your petals fold my secret sweet, I will trust you to keep. Deep in your heart will repose. No one will know what your leaves conceal. No one will guess what they could reveal. You will know then that I love you, dear, when you look in the heart of a rose. Why, dear little rose with your heart of gold. Tomorrow, maybe we can get some Foster Lager beer.
If you wish, that'd be
Just
great.
one can.
You
Just
got it?
one can of that beer.
Why don't I call you at 9 and get a shopping list over the phone, and I'll have it with me when I pick you up at 10.
Well, we don't need much.
You might think of any beer or snacks you need for the studio.
I can tell you just Brahma beer. I don't think you can get this from one bottle from Brazil. That Foster Lager in the can.
Okay.
No, I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to have to drink these beers alone.
Of course.
Listen. I think it's. Well, I don't have a song for her. Yes, I do have a song for her. I have to bring my book with me. Some songs, will be published songs.
Right.
If they sue, they sue. But the thing is that definitely, maybe look at the Miller Genuine Draft.
Okay.
In the bottle, just one of that. We can't get the Tatched Champagne. That cost $200 in a bottle. But in 1980, it was $49. It was expensive. And Roy Raiden, rest in peace. Oh, Mr. Raiden, he introduced me to Tappingers in the 70s. But that's the only beers I can think of. There's not that many beers. And of course the Bush beer. We can bring something there. But anyway, so because this song, you will know that I love you, dear, when you look in the heart of a rose. Well, I sang that. I can't do it half as good as John McCormick, but sometimes the voice fluctuates, but the memory is there. And so Mary Beth Pavia, she's now Mary Beth Viola. I hope she gets along well with her husband. She was getting tired a few years ago of him. But anyway, I just pray they have the best, but she was a goddess and one of many we'll talk about, Lord willing, tomorrow.
Tiny Tim, you've walked a million miles, you've sang a million songs, and I hope you'll live a million years.
Well, Mr. Burdette, you're nice, but the thing is, I praise the Lord for what I've seen. I have seen some of the greatest beauties, just in my own dream world, and maybe it's good that it left it just like this, because who knows what would have brought. But I always look for a land where we'll never grow old, where everything will be functioning. Wonderful world of romance, land of my golden dreams, where the hours go by on the wings of a sigh, and ever the love light gleams. Nightingales sing to the moon, stars shining brightly above, in that wonderful world of romance. I am waiting for you, my love. Wonderful world of romance. In fact, you know what? Of course, with those 3 beers you get tomorrow, I've got to take care of that. The Foster Lager, the Brahma, and the Miller's Genuine Draft. But
we'll get those after the radio interview.
all right. Maybe if we can get this, and even the one of the Bush.
Okay.
You know.
There's a wonderful beer store right next door to 14 Records.
Okay, because I'll purchase maybe 3 big quarts of, if they have it, of Pabst Blue Ribbon, if they have it. They may not have it no more, but Pabst Blue Ribbon won the award in 1893 as the best beer, much to Bush's anger. He fought that case for a year, but they gave, even 1894 was decided that the best Blue Ribbon beer was Pabst. That brings me back to the gay 90s. It's the one beer I'd call my most romantic beer. It's an independent beer. It's an independent, if they have Pabst Blue Ribbon, if they're not allowed to get just 2 or 3 bottles of a larger quart. But it is important tomorrow.
Sure.
In that wonderful world of romance, I am waiting for you, my love.
Fabulous interview, Tom. Thank you very much. Fabulous.
Heaven have these days. The good Lord gives and takes away. Praise be to the Lord. Very tight of them. Moonlight in your hair. That's when I learned to love. That's when I learned to love you. Every little star that used to twinkle in the sky, jealous of your eyes, made me realize. That's when I learned to love. That's when I learned to love you. My skies were gray night and day, every day, till the day when you came along. My nights were blue, lonesome too, until you came along with your song. When you tore my heart afire with ecstasy and bliss, thrilling me like this, with each tender kiss. That's when I learned to love. That's when I learned to love you. That's when I learned to love you. I think it's just right now. I can get that voice up there, Mr. Valley's tone in 1929, and that's a great song. My skies were gray night and day, every day till the night when you came along. My nights are lonesome too, until you came along with your song. When you tore my heart afire with ecstasy and bliss, thrilling me like this, with each tender kiss. That's when I learned to love. That's when I learned to love you. say you'll make my dreams come true. And perhaps I'm only surprising, just like all the women do. Perhaps someday I'll hear you say you'll make my dreams come true. When shadow night I'm creeping, when most of the world is sleeping, I open the album of my dreams. Sweet memories of joy and pleasure will live in the hours I treasure. I see in the album of my dreams. That lonely number of flowers haunting each my glass. I picture the scene for hours. That was the day we met. I call you and you must hear to join me each night in spirit. You live in the album of my dreams. Mr. Valley sang that in 1929 at his heyday.
This time he's signing off. He's signing off, saying cheerio and adios.